Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting and honestly something that we all might be guilty of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're talking about everyday laws that people break without even realizing it.
That's so true.
Yeah,
There are so many little nuances to the legal system.
right.
It's easy to accidentally slip up.
Absolutely. I mean, I was looking over this stuff and I was like, oh no, am I a criminal? So to help us break down all these legal tidbits, we have a fantastic expert joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to dive in.
Me too. So let's start with something I bet we've all done at some point. Jaywalking.
Ah, the classic jaywalk.
Right. I mean, who hasn't darted across the street to avoid a long walk to the crosswalk? But it turns out that little shortcut could actually cost you.
That's right. In most U.S. cities, crossing outside of a designated crosswalk is illegal and can result in a fine.
Really? I never knew that.
Yeah. It might seem like a minor thing, but jaywalking laws are rooted in a pretty interesting history.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, you see, back in the early 1900s, when cars were starting to become popular, there was this big push to prioritize automobiles
Oh, I see.
and, make roads safer for them. Jaywalking laws were part of that effort, establishing clear rules for where pedestrians could walk.
So it's not just about keeping people safe. It's like a little piece of history, too.
Exactly. And even today, there's still debate about whether these laws are outdated or necessary.
What do you mean?
Well, some people argue that jaywalking laws give police too much power and can be enforced unfairly.
Ah, I see.
While others say they're still crucial for pedestrian safety and smooth traffic flow, it's a complex issue with no easy answers.
That's really interesting. I never thought something as simple as jaywalking could be so complicated.
It just goes to show that the law is often full of surprises.
All right, so that's jaywalking. Now on to something even more surprising. I was shocked to learn that sharing your streaming passwords is against federal law.
Haha, yeah, that one catches a lot of people off guard.
Like, are we really breaking the law when we let our friend use our Netflix account?
Legally speaking, yes, it all comes down to copyright infringement.
Huh.
Well, streaming services have terms of service that limit access to authorized users, so when you share your password, you're technically violating those terms.
Oh, I see. So should I be worried about the FBI knocking on my door because I share my Disney Plus account with my sister?
Probably not. It's very unlikely that sharing with a few family members or close friends would lead to any serious legal trouble. But streaming companies are getting more aggressive in cracking down on widespread password sharing.
So what are they doing?
Well, they're using algorithms to detect unusual login patterns, like multiple devices accessing an account from different locations. It's become a bit of a cat and mouse game between companies trying to protect their content and people sharing passwords.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to another driving-related law, one that surprised me quite a bit, texting at red lights.
Ah, yes. Distracted driving is dangerous no matter where you are.
I thought it was okay if you were stopped,
Not necessarily. In many states, texting while stopped at a red light is still considered illegal.
even though the car isn't moving.
Yep. Even if you're stopped at a red light, you're still considered to be in control of a vehicle. And any distraction, like texting, can impair your ability to react quickly to changing traffic conditions.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It might seem like a minor thing, but those few seconds you spend looking at your phone could have serious consequences.
All right, now let's get into something that feels a little heavier. Recording someone without their consent. I was researching for this deep dive and I learned about two-party consent states, where you need everyone involved in a conversation to agree to be recorded.
That's right. It's a crucial law aimed at protecting individual privacy.
So how does it work?
In those states, recording someone without their knowledge or consent is not only unethical, but it can also be a serious legal offense.
Wow, so like what could happen?
You could face lawsuits, fines, or even criminal charges, depending on the situation. It's essential to be mindful of these laws and always obtain consent before recording anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be aware of. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about a law that could save our listeners some money and maybe some road rage too. Left lane cruising.
Ah, yes. A classic driving faux pas.
You mean driving slowly in the fast lane?
Exactly. The left lane is designed for passing, not cruising. If you're not actively overtaking another vehicle, it's best to move back to the right lane and leave the left lane open for its intended purpose.
You know, it's amazing how many things we do every day that could potentially be breaking the law.
It really is. The law is all around us, and it's always a good idea to stay informed about local regulations.
Well, I've definitely learned a lot today. And for our listeners, I'll leave you with this. What other everyday activities could have surprising legal consequences? It's a fascinating thing to think about. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.